feel like we have a little bit of a mismatch in the ReliaQuest Bowl as 7-5 Wisconsin takes on number 13 LSU. So, will Wisconsin pull off the upset and clinch a bowl victory in Luke Fickell's first year, or will LSU get the win and clinch their second straight 10-win season under Brian Kelly? That's the question we're going to answer today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad you could join us today to break down the ReliaQuest Bowl. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks, that holiday special there for you, giving you every single college football bowl game spread pick and every NFL playoff game spread pick for one of the lowest prices in the entire country. We're bringing out over 80% of the national handicappers, and we want you to win big with us today. It's never too early to sign up. It's never too late to sign up. Go take advantage of it. thegridironexpert.com. The link for it down in the description below. So, let's dive into this game, guys. Not only do I think we have a bit of a mismatch here, I think it's a battle between two teams that kind of feel like they had a disappointing season in 2023. Take a look at Wisconsin. Year one under Luke Fickell, he's coming in to change the offense. He's recruiting well. Everybody thought the Badgers could go on to win the Big Ten West, maybe even win 10 games this year. And Wisconsin finishes 7-5. They started 4-1, but went 3-4 down the stretch, including upset losses to Indiana and Northwestern. So not really the year the Badgers were hoping for. LSU, on the other hand, back in the preseason, people were talking about LSU as a college football playoff team. That was immediately crushed and killed when they lost to Florida State in dominating fashion back in week 1, and they lost to Ole Miss at the end of September. So 2 losses in the month of September. Playoff hopes were done. Tigers were not that great defensively, but did have the Heisman Trophy winner in Jaden Daniels, which certainly counted for something. If you take a look at the offense, guys, start with Wisconsin here. Obviously, over the last few years, the Badgers have not been an offensive juggernaut. We thought maybe they would start to improve on that side of the ball under Luke Fickell in his first year. It really didn't pan out. Phil Longo comes in from North Carolina. He's going to transform the passing game. They got Tanner Mordecai transferring in from SMU. Some solid wide receivers. Braylon Allen sticking around. And the Badgers just never got anything going. Only averaged 370 yards per game, 207 through the air, 163 on the ground. They're now in this bowl game going to be without Braylon Allen, who rushed for 984 yards and 12 touchdowns. And they're going to be without their center and Tanner Bortolini. They're going to be down 2 of their top 4 pass catchers. Ches Malusi, injured early in the year. He's out. So you're down 2 of your top rushers. You're down some top pass catchers. You're down some guys on the offensive line. Wisconsin kind of depleted offensively entering this game. Mordecai is the 3rd leading rusher on the team. That's not a guy you want to run the ball. It's not going to be a guy you want to rely on all the time. So they're going to turn to Jackson Acker at running back. Yes, he has Will Pauling expected to play. Bryson Green expected to play despite missing the last 2 games of the year. But in the final 2 months of the season for Wisconsin, the Badgers never eclipsed 28 points. And that's a bit of a problem. They're not a team that can really score at will. And that's a problem going up against an LSU offense that is the #1 offense in the entire country, averaging over 547 yards per game. But that, of course, was with Jaden Daniels, who is opting out of this game. Understandably so. Heisman Trophy winner, going to test the waters in the pros. He's not playing in this game. But everybody else for LSU seems to be pretty much set. They're going to turn to Garrett Nussmeier, who's not your average backup quarterback. Got a little bit more experience than the average quarterback. Has shown some flashes of brilliance, shown he is capable of winning and delivering if needed. So Garrett Nussmeier, 33 attempts on the year, but plenty of experience in 2022. Going to be under center for the Tigers. He's got Logan Diggs at running back, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. He's got 2 1,000-yard wide receivers in Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas that Brian Kelly said he expects both to play in this ReliaQuest Bowl. This is a team that averages over 200 rushing yards per game, electric through the air. This is the LSU team that, even without Jaden Daniels, is loaded with tons of talent. They're loaded with tons of speed, and that's going to be really, really tough for Wisconsin to match. Tough for them to match offensively, maybe even tough for them to match defensively. Because you take a look at the Badgers' defense, that's obviously been their strength for years and years. It was the strength under Paul Chryst, Luke Fickell hoping to bring that same style of ball into Madison, just pairing it with a competent offense. The defense giving up just 331 yards per game, only 193 through the air, 138 on the ground. The Badgers will be without their #3 tackler in Jordan Turner, who's entering the transfer portal. That's probably the biggest loss defensively for them. Everybody else seems to be mostly intact for the Badgers, which is huge. The problem that Wisconsin's running into is lately, down the stretch of the year, probably the second half of the season, they've struggled mightily against the run. 119 rushing yards allowed to Minnesota, 195 to Nebraska, 129 to Northwestern, 181 to Ohio State, 223 to Illinois, 200 to Iowa. So will Garrett Nussmeier even have to do that much through the air for LSU? Or will the Tigers just hand off to Logan Diggs, or they hand off to all their running backs and say, you do the work? If the Badgers can't stop us and get enough push up front, we're not going to change anything. So run. And I'll just kind of take the day off. As a passer. That's what LSU obviously would hope to do. But even if Wisconsin does shut down the run, I do believe those 1,000-yard receivers, the speed that LSU has on the outside, is going to be some of the best speed, some of the best talent that Wisconsin has faced all year long, especially compared to the mediocre or really below average offense that Wisconsin was facing on a daily basis in the Big Ten West. Take a look at LSU. Their defense is horrible. Their defense is very, very bad. Some would say it's maybe a miracle that the Tigers were able to go 9-3 this year. 104th overall in the country, allowing 409.2 yards per game, 105th in the country against the pass, 245.8 passing yards per game allowed, 92nd versus the run, allowing over 163 rushing yards per game. They really can't stop anybody. They have struggled mightily. I mean, go back. They got torched against Florida State, got torched against Alabama, got torched against Ole Miss. All those, the 3 losses for the Tigers. But even some mediocre opponents they faced. A&M had a field day against them despite the Tigers winning. Arkansas had a field day against LSU despite the Tigers winning those games. So they were able to overcome poor defensive performances because of how good their offense was. But will that fly this time around with their offense looking nothing like it has all year long? That's kind of the question here. I will say that despite the poor stats, I do believe LSU has a very strong front seven. They at least have a lot of talent up front. They have a strong defensive line. They've got a strong linebacking core. 26 sacks on the year. They forced a handful of turnovers this year. Quintana Mordecai really delivered with a depleted running back core and not much experience and depth on the outside. Can he challenge that LSU secondary? Can he beat LSU through the air, the passing attack that has only averaged a little over 200 passing yards per game on the year? That's the tough question here. So you look at this game, guys, Wisconsin and LSU, ReliaQuest Bowl, great way to start off the new year. I think this game was close for a little while, but ultimately LSU is going to pull away. I just don't see Wisconsin with as mediocre as they've been all year, with as much as they've struggled offensively, and now with a handful of opt-outs on that side of the ball. They're not going to go out there and torch LSU's defense like LSU has been torched by a handful of teams this year. They're not going to go out there and run all over LSU. LSU, I think, will take a little while to get adjusted without Jaden Daniels, but Garrett Nussmeier will eventually settle in. And if those wide receivers play like Brian Kelly is expecting, at the time of this video, we are expecting them to play, then the Tigers will be just fine. LSU will win this game by at least 10 points. Give me the Tigers to win the ReliaQuest Bowl and to clinch their second straight 10-win season under Brian Kelly, as both these teams look to be better in 2024 after relatively disappointing seasons in 2023. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks, that holiday special there for you. Again, down in the description over on the gridironexpert.com, some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country for one of the lowest prices in the entire country. Do not miss out. It's never too early to sign up. It's never too late to sign up. Go take advantage of it. Again, the link down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.